should be okay. We should be going live right now. We should be going live right now, lads, for the first episode of I Can't Believe I'm going to be doing this. For the first live stream of Top of the Morning with Mick. I cannot believe I asked for suggestions here. So we've got Top of the Morning with Mick Talks Hoops. Lads, I think we're down relatively bad. I think we're down relatively bad right now with the Top of the Morning streams. Oh, playing into every stereotype, I guess. How are you, MPT? How are you this morning? But yeah, obviously, look, this is the first of these videos where we're going to be talking about some brand new topics. We're going to be talking about them here, and we are obviously going to be doing a little bit of our research, chatting with you guys, and seeing what there is in the day in WNBA. And obviously, with 23 people here, we can talk a bit now, but this is the first of these that I'm going to be doing. This is the first of these. This is a live stream, lads, and we are going to be... I'm lagging? I think that might be your connection. I'm looking at my stream health. It's pretty good. My stream health is pretty good. No, I'm good on my end. It seems to be very good on my end. All good. All good. So we've got 51 of you guys in here, lads. So today's plan, we are going to be, obviously, look, we're going to be talking about the Chennedy Carter stuff. We're going to be talking about, on this stream, we're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark breaking crazy record jersey sales. And we're also going to be talking about, obviously, responding to comments, seeing what's there. And we're going to be talking a little bit about good free agents, a little bit about Meesseman as well. So, doing a great job. Don't give up on this. No, these streams are just going to be my recording sessions. It's going to be better for you guys. We can just chat. We can chat for a little bit. I can still get the same videos out. And I don't need to, worry about getting attacked for gradually releasing videos throughout a day. Like, mad stuff. But, they could sell core more if they're I actually have no idea what you're talking about. I genuinely, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. You're getting a Michaela jersey. I'd wait until she makes the team first. Like, I would say more... Oh, sorry, they could sell more jerseys if they're available in Europe. Yeah, I think it's only America, but that is true. No, the jerseys all sold out in Europe. The Caitlin Clark jerseys all sold out in Europe. So we're going to... That's going to be our first topic here. We're going to talk about the Caitlin Clark jersey sales, which is a mad one. Which is an absolute mad one. So, if you guys did not see... Thank you, Post, for the $10. Morning in the US with Mick. I mean, I'm sorry, you guys... The chat spoke. The most liked comment. It is now Top of the Morning with Mick. Top of the Morning with Mick, lads. Top of the Mornings with Mick. That is it. I can't believe I'm doing that, but it is what it is. So, obviously, with Caitlin Clark, we have seen a crazy amount of sales of the 22 Indiana Fever jersey. And we saw it from Fanatics today that Caitlin Clark is, in fact, one of the top 10 best-selling NBA jerseys. I had no idea that Michael Jordan is in the NBA, and I really had no idea that Caitlin Clark is in the NBA. But Caitlin Clark sells more jerseys than LeBron James. Caitlin Clark sells more jerseys than the most sold jersey on the New York Knicks. I repeat, the Knicks are good. The Knicks are good, And they have a star in Brunson, and she sells more jerseys than him. The Celtics are good, and they have a star in Jason Tatum. She sells more jerseys than him. She sells more than Victor Wembanyama. And by the way, I can't believe Jokic or Luka Doncic didn't go to number 1 because he got he's a brand new jersey. Like, I was in the NBA store. There was an entire section of the store for 50% off Luka Doncic jerseys. And I literally went to them and I'm like, this is after he got traded from the Mavs. I'm like, any chance you can get this down to $20 and someone might buy it? I was like, they're like, nah. I was like, have you sold any last week? They were like, no. But like, we're looking here at the most sold jersey. And obviously, we saw with the WNBA jerseys last year, obviously Caitlin Clark being the top most sold. Like, that was an obvious one. An absolute obvious one. What was the crazy one was Kate Martin selling more jerseys than Angel Wilson. Like, I think there is a near 0% chance that Kate Martin is in the top 5. Sorry, not Kate Martin's top 5. Angel Wilson's in the top 5. Because these top 3 are going to stay as some of the top 3. Paige Bueckers is going to be there. Kate Martin is on a new team. Let's not forget the Iowa fans. How many jerseys are going to be sold for Lucy Olsen if she makes the Washington Mystics? And you have to take into account, obviously, Sabrina's still Sabrina. You've got so many players on new teams as well. And Hailey Van Lith for the Sky is going to be right up there. Like, I don't think people realize how popular Hailey Van Lith is. Cameron Brink is going to be right up there as well if she comes back. So we're probably going to see Angel Wilson fall out of the top 5 in jersey sales, which would be mad. Like, it would be absolutely mad. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, when it comes to jersey sales, it doesn't really matter. It actually doesn't. Like, jersey sales for the best player does not really matter. I mean that because is Nikola Jokic even on the top jersey sales for the NBA? Yeah, Nikola Jokic isn't even there, and he's by far the best player. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not top 10, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But, yeah, it's, like it is what it is. And this is one of the things that people don't realize. First of all, this is on Fanatics, so these were jerseys are sold. But if you look at, this is in Europe. Obviously, look, I'm in Europe, so this is all I can talk about. So you go look at WNBA jerseys in Europe. So you see all these. There is a Sabrina Ionescu jersey available in every single size. There is they only released one Chicago Sky jersey available in every single size for Angel Reese. Dallas Wings Satu Sabally jersey. How is this not half price? She doesn't even play for them anymore. But to be fair, this has been sitting here for a year. There was a stage where it was only Satu Sabally jerseys. But in the European store, they released an Angel Wilson jersey, a Angel Reese jersey, a Sabrina Ionescu jersey. And you might be wondering, you're like, wait, why does Caitlin Clark only say youth? Why is Caitlin Clark only in youth sizes? Because they released the Caitlin Clark jerseys, they're gone. They are gone. Like, somebody sent me both colours of the Caitlin Clark jerseys because you could not get them in Europe. They were sold out in like a day in Europe. It was only, like, I checked all the time. I used to check all the time. And I would always check. And like, when it comes to the essentials things, they all say almost gone. They all say almost gone. Are they there in sizes? Well, there's no double XL Fever essentials. By the way, these hoodies are awful. The t-shirt, I kind of like the t-shirts. I kind of like the t-shirts, don't like the hoodies, but I'm never going to pay for a freaking essentials, anything. But you're looking, Angel Wilson, face of the league, jerseys in every single size. Caitlin Clark, jerseys sold out. And they had to release youth jerseys for Caitlin Clark. They didn't even release youth jerseys for anyone else. Angel Reese, every single size. Sabrina Ionescu, available in every single size. And it's just Caitlin. It is literally just Caitlin Clark that is selling out jerseys. And, like, she is the most popular basketball player in the world right now, outside of maybe Steph Curry. And that is a crazy thing. But I've always said this, like, as someone who's not from America, where basketball's not a huge sport in Europe. It is not that big in Ireland. Like, again, a small enough sport that I have literally represented my nation playing against EuroLeague guys, like future EuroLeague guys, like, not at the senior level, God no, but at the underage level. But Steph Curry was big enough that, just as a basketball fan, people would be like, just my normal friends who had no interest in basketball used to watch Steph Curry play. And that is the way it is with Caitlin Clark now, is that the non-basketball fan is interested in watching Caitlin Clark in a way that they were never, no offense to LeBron, the casual fan has never really been interested in watching LeBron unless it was the finals. In a way that the casual fan gravitated towards your Steph. And we have not seen anything since then like Caitlin Clark. And it's shown in the jersey sales. It's shown in the ticket sales. It's shown in everything that, yeah, you can maybe argue she's not the face of basketball purely because what's his name? Steph Curry exists. But Steph's not got too much longer left. He's getting very, very close to being done. And yeah, like, we're seeing it not only, like, obviously, Caitlin Clark's going to be the top selling WNBA merch person until she retires. Just like since the year of 2015, Stephen Curry has been probably top of every single NBA merch list. Like, no matter what state you are in, no matter where you are in America, you see the local team's jerseys, you see LeBron jerseys, and you see Steph Curry jerseys. And it's been like that for a decade. And it's going to soon be the case where when Nike actually stops dropping the ball, you're going to see whatever your local WNBA team is, Breanna jerseys, maybe, and Caitlin Clark jerseys. And yeah, if you're in Vegas, you're going to see Ice stuff everywhere. If you're in Chicago, you're going to see Sky stuff everywhere. That's going to be great. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, if Paige Bueckers, like, turns back the clock and stops becoming passive Paige and starts to take over, we could see that happening. But again, until we see it, I'm not going to say it's going to happen. But until then, the whole Caitlin Clark jersey situation is just, might be like a once in a generation, once in a lifetime type player. And hopefully the WNBA stop doing what they're doing in refusing to promote her. So yeah, that is pretty much it on the jersey front. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you guys want to see these recording sessions live and comment here, we are going to be live on these. Top of the morning to you, the Pope be Frank. You're YouTube. Are you the person that made? I really want to apologize for this, like, because I'm very not in touch with, you know, as much as people don't want to see. Are you the person that makes the rap videos? The Pope be Frank. I recognize that name. Okay, 10,000 subscribers. Unreal. Oh, I do. I've seen. I have seen your stuff. Yes, you are. Oh, unreal. Shout out. Yeah, like, I actually. Okay, cool. I will actually definitely take a look at people's content because, contrary to popular belief, I don't have enough time. But, oh yeah, talk about Kennedy. Yes, I will talk about Chennedy Carter. CC22 song streaming on all platforms. I will take a listen. I am going to take a listen to that. Not live on stream, just because even with permission, YouTube's always iffy when it comes to copyright stuff. Like I've been doing, like when it comes to copyright audio. So always a little bit iffy doing that on live. But yeah, good to see other content creators here, and it's actually, like, being honest, it's good to see so many people covering the sport because the actual media does such a bad job of covering the WNBA. So, and it is funny that it's like the people that are talking about it on YouTube are pulling in more hits than the actual media. Like if you look at L. Duncan's podcast, like there's at least 8 or 9 people covering the league, that are pulling in. You play there's no copyright on YouTube. Okay, let's take a listen here. What's the song called? CC22. Is it on your YouTube? Good morning from Barbados. Good morning to you. That is a, like, The Pope be frank. I will play this tomorrow. I will play it tomorrow. Sorry, I'm like, it's a weird one on streams. Normally, I just kind of have everything set up for like a watch party, and I'm just watching the games. I'm really bad at streaming, and like, type in 2022 the Pope, CC22 the Pope. Okay. The song isn't there. There's like a 13-minute long video. Because I don't have Spotify or anything. I just use YouTube Music. Long time listener, you do solid research. I'm gonna be honest when it comes to research. Every single person that does this, we all just hawk Twitter, see something on Twitter, find whatever article's linked, boom, video. We all kind of do the same thing. We all just hawk Twitter. So if you're talking about me for research, like obviously watching the games, I try to watch as much basketball as I can because I just love basketball. But like if you're talking about research for videos, that's where you gotta give credit to the Ken Swifts, the correlations, the more than I can even name off the top of my head. It's not on your page. Okay, I'll find it and I'll play it next stream. You try to buy a CC jersey, but it's sold out. I had to sell it for a Breanna jersey. She plays for her hometown team. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Go buy a WNBA jersey. The Liberty are fun to watch. Like, the Liberty are a fun basketball team to watch. There are fun basketball teams. The Mercury are going to be interesting this year. The Liberty are fun to watch. The Aces play puke ball. The Lynx, it depends with the Lynx if you're like a basketball purist, because just the way they move. It is just a basketball purist type of game. Good morning from Bahamas. It is always crazy. It's crazy the sport is like such a big unifier just in general. Like obviously, look, I've been on this platform 10 years making 2K content like from Dublin, Ireland. And then it's like you see weird links because like if you look at next year's draft, like our fam is going to be probably a top 3 pick in next year's draft. And our fam, her brother, I coached against her brother when he played in Ireland. Like her brother's a couple of years older than her, but he came over to Ireland when he was 17. I freaking coached against him. Dominique Malonga in the Euro Cup semi-final, when they lost, they had she had 27 put on her head by Claire Melia, who's Irish, who, like, not close with her, but has been in my house multiple times. Like, there's always weird links when it comes to basketball. Like, you're always only, like, 2 degrees of separation. Someone's trying to touch my name. Like, anyone's allowed to say what they want. It's YouTube platform, and that's the good thing, is that anyone's allowed to kind of post what they want, anyone's allowed to say what they want. Not everyone has to have a good opinion of you, and not everyone is gonna have a good opinion of you. And that's the thing where it's like you do you, and when it comes to YouTube content, you do you post what you do, and there's gonna be an audience for you, and as long as the content that you're posting is good, there's gonna be a viewership there. And well, as long as the viewers are gonna be there in general and you post good content, like there's only so long you can get with bad content. Like for myself, like I don't make good content, as in I don't prep much. I don't freaking, I say a lot in videos. I stumble over myself. I sometimes lose concentration because of the amount of videos I put up. But I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. And my weaknesses is actually making videos. But my strength is that in a lot of situations, I don't think there's anyone who watches more basketball than me in the WNBA scene. So I have that as an advantage. So it's like, it's all about strengths and weaknesses. Play darts with Conor McGregor? No, but I ate dinner I had dinner one time just before he was big and Conor McGregor was on the table beside me. Ireland has 700 people. Like, oh, can we just keep this talk basketball? Keep it basketball talk. Like, there's enough bullshit going on in the world. Can we just talk basketball? And even when it comes to the WNBA stuff, there's so much bullshit. When I'm live, can we stick to basketball? Why is he hating on me? I actually haven't watched the video. I have no idea. I think we cover the same topics. I have no idea. I genuinely don't know. I don't know, nor do I really care that much. Like, at the end of the day, you always, when it comes to YouTube, focus on you. Focus on what you're doing. Focus on the content you're putting out. Focus on, and like, it's no good for anyone. We'll talk more basketball. Perfect. And speaking of basketball, going on to talk about basketball. I mean this. How the hell is Chennedy Carter not in the WNBA? Like, we obviously saw Chennedy Carter yesterday with the stream where she was revealing all about the whole Caitlin Clark situation. How is Chennedy Carter not in the WNBA? I don't care if she is the reincarnation of Satan. She is the 7th, 8th best player in the WNBA, and that is like being conservative. On Chennedy Carter's day, she's the best player in the world. Like, when Chennedy Carter is on a heater, she is the best player in the world. Again, it's not quite consistent. Always, she's not, because she doesn't have the 3 ball, she has to be super efficient with 2 in order to be super effective. But, like, why is Chennedy Carter not in the league? The team that signs her will be public enemy number 1. By who? By who? There's no actual basketball fan that watches Chennedy Carter play and is not entertained. This is an entertainment league, and the second most entertaining player in the league isn't in the freaking league. So people are saying team decides public enemy. The WNBA is scared to pick her up. I'm sorry. There is no, and I mean this, there has never been a situation where a top 10 player that hasn't done something unforgivable, like commit an unforgivable crime, whether or not they were found officially guilty of it, like sometimes unforgivable crimes can be shown on camera, like a Mason Greenwood, who's nowhere near as good as a Chennedy Carter, but he wasn't even still blacklisted. Like, Chennedy Carter seems to be a not great teammate, seems to be a little bit annoying, seems to be a hothead, seems to be kind of hard to play with, seems to be a bit toxic. But I'm sorry, how many of the greats are toxic teammates? In world basketball, how many of the greats are toxic teammates? It's not uncommon. She's a liability. Then why were the Chicago Sky comfortably in the playoffs when she was there, and when she went down injured, the Sky could not win a game? Do you know how many teams the Sky beat last year when Chennedy Carter did not play? I'm not joking when I say this. The Sky beat one team last year. Chennedy Carter did not play a lot of games last year. They won one game without Chennedy Carter, and it was against the Sparks, who won 8 games all year. And 2 of them were in their, they won 8 games all year. They won 1 game without Chennedy Carter last year. They won 12 with Chennedy Carter. I think Chennedy Carter might have missed 10 games. So they weren't far off being 500 with Chennedy Carter playing. Without Chennedy Carter playing, they were the worst team in the WNBA. They're treating her like Dwight Howard and DeMarcus Cousins. Well, you know what? DeMarcus Cousins stayed in the league. DeMarcus Cousins stayed in the damn league for what, 5 years after his Achilles tear? 5 years after his Achilles tear. Draymond Green, WNBA. Draymond Green still in the damn league. No basketball, nobody. There's no league in the world where one of the top players in the world isn't in the league because they have a bit of an attitude problem. I mean this. It is mental. Someone saying, you think Carter isn't as toxic as Liz Cambage? Liz Cambage has walked away from multiple teams. She quit the WNBA. If Liz Cambage said today that she was going to come back into the WNBA for the 2025 season, she would be signed tomorrow. Teams would be firing players to sign Liz Cambage. And Liz Cambage has a much worse attitude than Chennedy Carter. A much worse attitude than Chennedy Carter. And she's not even as good as Chennedy Carter. I don't Chennedy Carter is literally, nobody was signing her, nobody has a clue why. We all know why teams aren't signing her. Because teams are scared that if you sign Chennedy Carter, you're not going to get any other free agents. Well, I'm sorry. If you are a team like the Vegas Aces, where I genuinely think that Chennedy Carter is going to be there. I mean that. And guys, in the chat right now, there's 300 of you guys. Leave in the chat where you guys think that Chennedy Carter is going to end up. There are teams, any team that is a bubble contender, and I mean bubble contender, a team that is not going to win a championship, but aren't far off, should be trying to sign Chennedy Carter. Like, genuinely. Like, the Aces are not winning. Her going to Shanghai, where she's already the best player in that league. The Aces sign Chennedy Carter. The Ace of PR issues. What's the worst thing Chennedy Carter does? Have no filter? Have no filter? Is that the worst? Is that the worst thing for Chennedy Carter is a person with no filter? I'm sorry, there's 100 worse things than that. Like, there is 100 worse things than having no filter. Like, there's so many toxic things. But if you put her on the freaking Aces, she turns them into contenders. If you put her on the Storm, she turns them into contenders. The Seattle Storm are starting Lexi Brown right now. If she goes in for Lexi Brown, they are instantly contenders. Right now, neither of them have any chance of winning. They instantly become contenders. And the Storm I don't even think the Storm have their own draft pick. But you do that, you could instantly become contenders. The Fever, the Lynx, and the Liberty, you don't want to mess up a good thing. The three of those contending teams, you don't touch her. You don't touch her. But you do what the Chicago Bulls did. The Chicago Bulls lost to the Orlando Magic. They were not going to win in 1996. So who do they get with their current constructed roster? Who do they get? They get the player who almost played his way out of the NBA by being so toxic. You take the risk on Dennis Rodman, and you hope that Dennis Rodman turns into... Am I still live? You hope that Dennis Rodman turns into something good. You take the risk. You absolutely take the risk. You always do. You always take the risk on those type of players. So it's had so much success in the past, because if you sign Chennedy Carter to a non-guaranteed contract, if Chennedy Carter is being a toxic asset to your team, you just cut her. You can always cut her. Like, I just don't understand why a team is not signing her to a non-guaranteed contract. If it's a situation where she's only going to sign for the max at a guarantee, if not, she's going to play for China for more money, then maybe. Then maybe it makes sense. But there's never been a situation where a player this good in any sport is not in the league without committing without doing something unforgivable. I'm sorry. Like, she's just that good at basketball. She's that good at basketball. And we live in a world where Kevin Porter Jr. is still playing in the NBA. We live in a world where Miles Bridges is still playing in the NBA. We live in a world where Josh Primo got a second chance, where he's still playing in the NBA. And they did stuff that were 100 times worse. We live in a world where people are hyping Sedona Prince, saying she should be in the league. We live in a world where Brittany Griner was still in the league, and I'm not talking about the China thing, after, like, her, not even what she was charged with. Chennedy Carter is just a hothead, it seems. I don't know why she's not in the league. She got into it with a teammate on the Atlanta Dream, the Sparks. She got into it. Do you want to know who those teammates were? Courtney Williams, who is on video fighting a different teammate in Atlanta. She got into it with Liz Cambridge. Liz Cambridge on this freaking Sparks. And she didn't do anything on the Sky. She just pissed off her teammates. She didn't do anything on the Sky. Like, let's be real. It was just that there was favoritism shown towards her. She just pissed off her teammates in the Sky. She didn't do anything in the Sky. No, there's no Fever. Don't get her. If you're the Fever, you don't sign her. You do not sign her if you're a contender. But if you are one of those teams where it's like, we're not quite good enough talent-wise today, what is going to improve our talent? If you're a team that needs more talent to compete, and you're in win now mode, you get the talent. I like Chennedy Carter. Yeah, she shoots 50% from the field and averages 18 points per game. And more than 20 points per game, by the way, if you take into account that she didn't start for most of the year. What happened in the locker room? She smashed the chair. Oh my God, Diana Taurasi broke a wall. I say broke a door. Like, come on, she threw a chair. She threw a chair, come on. There's no reason why she's not in the league. If Dennis Rodman could have made it back into the NBA when he was not as good a player as Chennedy Carter, there's no reason. So next topic. Our next topic is going to be the unbelievable. How do you know it was a chair? That's a fair point. Something smashed. Something smashed anyway. The next topic is going to be the great Emma Meesseman. Now for the Indiana Fever. For the Indiana Fever. We were talking about Chennedy Carter previously. About why I think she should be in the league, but I don't think the Fever should sign her. Now for the Fever. You have got the perfect player. Send Natasha Howard to the bench because you know what? She's dropped 30 on Natasha Howard's head a few times this season. For the Fever, which is the main team that matters, let's be real. The main team that matters. This is the player that everybody needs to sign. And you want to beat a team to win the Emma Meesseman sweepstakes. Whoever wins this sweepstakes coming into July is winning the WNBA. And I don't think people realize how good she is and what type of a fit that she would make on the Indiana Fever. Like, if you just want to watch how she plays the game of basketball, like everybody's talking about all these players the Fever need and, you know, what Natasha Howard can bring. Emma Meesseman's just better. She is just absolutely better. Like, if you're just looking, a little bit of space, nice Dantas type fade right there. But it's the passing. You're seeing the way they're playing. They're able to spread out around her, and I know this is just her scoring. If you leave her in a one-on-one situation, Tina Charles with a nice high-low pass. Could you imagine Aaliyah Boston with that? Could you imagine just with the way the flow offense that they're trying to run? With Aaliyah Boston giving those passes in the high post, Emma Meesseman coming off the ball. And the fact that they're going to be interchangeable in that high-low. Like, they are... Like, just those type of passes, especially with, again, when you've got Kelsey Mitchell. It's the role that Stephanie White's talking about Aaliyah Boston having to turn into. That's what Emma Meesseman is right now. She's going to be hitting these players. And you're just looking at how she plays. Everything is so efficient. Everything is within the flow of offenses. Great pass there by Tina Charles. Easy fadeaway. It's just, the game is so easy. Like, she is female Jokic. She is the female Nikola Jokic. Just how she plays the game. She plays almost like a guard. And like in fairness, Tina Charles this season playing for Fenerbahce, she has been a very, very good passer. But just some of those things, and like you're looking at her scoring right here. This is the wrong thing. But you're looking at her scoring. And her scoring's not even what she's best at. If you look at how she passes the ball, it's just different. It is just different. So it's always a risk adding an elite player later in the year, chemistry especially. Dude, like, she plays for Fenerbahce. Like, she played last season with Fee Collier, Kayla McBride, Satu Sabali. I think Alyssa Thomas was playing for them as well. She played on the 2023 team with like 5 WNBA All-Stars. Like, Fenerbahce used to be the best team in the world. They were the best team in the world. They were literally like... They literally were just an entire team of WNBA All-Stars. And it's funny, though, just everything about her. If you watch her play for Belgium, like the Belgian national team is nothing special, but they have nearly beaten the USA on multiple occasions. On multiple occasions, they've nearly beaten the Team USA. And like, if you're just looking at how she's playing, like in the World Cup, just everything she does is just, it's just such good basketball. And again, her and Kiara Linskin's playing that kind of high-low. Like, she got that post fadeaway. And look, she's kind of playing the 5. They got Linskins up there at the 4, who's there hitting cutters coming through. And if you're going to be playing that form of a motion offense where your bigs are 2 high IQ players, like obviously like she is, like Leah Boston is, and you can kind of play with the double post players. You're seeing there coming for a pin down. She's there. They send the double team. She makes it over to double team. But also Linskins was going to be there wide open as well. And that's the thing where it's like Linskin's there cutting off the ball. Like, could you imagine her and Aaliyah Boston? Like in that type of high-low action. Once the game gets set into the half court. Because that is the one kind of, not a weakness of Caitlin Clark, but she is significantly better in the full court than in the half court. And with the Fever last year, the pick and roll was the first action. The first action was the pick and roll. The second, third action was non-existent. And with the Fever, it seems like they're going to be running other stuff, running a flow offense, with the last option being the pick and roll, which is, again, the same thing, but there's something earlier on in the offense, which means that they might be getting some easy baskets before they have to rely on the Caitlin Clark-Aaliyah Boston 2-man game. But can we at least see her dribble between the legs a step back 3 or something? Who the hell needs to shoot a step back 3? Who needs to shoot a step back 3? She's a top 10 player. No, she is a top 10 player in the world. She's averages like 26 points per game in the last 2 Olympics and like put up 25 on Team USA. She was the best player on the floor against Team USA. And especially if you have a Stephanie White type coach. Like, I rate Stephanie White so highly as what she did with the Connecticut Sun was exceptional last year. Was absolutely exceptional. And you also have to take into account as well, like what she did with, like what she can do on the offensive end. Not what she did last year, but just in general what she can do. Because she can be an exceptionally good coach on the for offense. But yeah, it just would be such a good get and such a seamless fit. And like, I understand again, Natasha Howard from a running perspective is a seamless fit, but like, could you imagine her and Aaliyah Boston playing together? It's not like she's not athletic. She just has that ability. She's like 100 times better version of Damaris Dantas. With defensive instincts, can play on that end of the floor, doesn't foul that often. Can play as a guard, just makes the right decision. And you don't need flash. You do not need flash in the sport of basketball. Like, she goes and hits Kayla McBride. Easy one for the team out there running. Comes for a high pick and roll. Gets it in on the roll. Gets a nice post up. That turnaround shot goes in almost every single time. Gets it at the high post. Drives right. Puts her head down. Crazy scoop finish. And that's the thing, because she can roll, she can pop. Look, is she better than Leah Boston? Sure. Is she better than Tasha Howard? Without doubt. But like, if the Fever can add this type of a player to their roster, it's over. It's absolutely over. And again, like, the Fever, it's just going to be a different team. She's bigger than everybody else out there. She's playing against WNBA players. She's playing as WNBA players in those clips right there. Let's be honest, she is playing as literal WNBA players. And she's killing them. She's absolutely killing them. And if you are obviously a fan of the Mystics, you know she won a Finals MVP for them. And if whether or not the Fever have money for her, she doesn't want to come over right now. There's no team in the WNBA that has money for her. There's no contending team that has a max contract. She wants to play for a contender, and she wants to play in a big city. Like, Indianapolis is a big city. It is a big city, especially when I was about to say when you compare it to Istanbul. Istanbul is a pretty damn big city, but especially if you compare it to be honest, anywhere in Belgium, it still is a big city. It's not New York, but it's still a big city. And the difference is that she may not start for New York Liberty. She's a guarantee to start for, for the Fever. She's going to start with Natasha Howard. And Indianapolis isn't LA or New York, but I mean, as a man from Dublin, which is a pretty big city in Europe, in America, they're all big cities. They're all big cities. Like, you could fit half of Europe in Texas. They're all big cities. So yeah, that is just my opinion on that. I think she would be the ideal player, because if they get, like, look, if the Fever get her, it's over. If the Lynx get her, it's over. If the Liberty get her, it's over. There's a lot of teams, if they get Emma Meesseman, it's over. It is absolutely over. The Fever will regret. The Fever will regret letting Grace Berger go. And I actually kind of agree with that. I kind of agree with that statement just because of who Grace Berger is and how Grace Berger plays as a player. I think the Fever will 100% regret letting Grace Berger go. And again, look, I trust Amber Cox. I trust Kelly Krauskopf. I trust Caitlin Clark, who requested bringing in Sydney Colson. But I still think it's going to be a bit of a regret. Watch this up. Why is there no gap between the end of college and WNBA draft like the men? Because the WNBA season's on during the summer and college season's overlapped. Funny it would be if half of Europe moved to Dallas. The Liberty are already so stacked it would be a joke. Yeah, the Liberty Lynx are stacked and the Fever are stacked. But I just think that Grace Berger was such an ideal future backup for Caitlin Clark. Because it's just the way basketball's going. I just think with the way basketball's going, it's just such a bad decision for me not going out of your way to try keeping Grace Berger, because she was fine as a rookie. She was absolutely fine as a rookie. And if you just look at how she played in Turkey, she's a do-it-all player. She's not like true point guard. She's not like a shooting guard either, but she's somebody that can slide between both positions. She can pass the ball well. She can handle the ball really, really well. And she'd shoot like she was one of the best three-point shooters in the WNBA the previous season. I just think Christy Sides mismanaged her, just like I think she mismanaged Celeste Taylor. Like, I think if Christy Sides didn't mismanage Celeste Taylor, like, you've got a player that would have been on this current day roster. Like, I think Celeste Taylor's on the team right now. But, like, if you're looking at Grace Berger, obviously she did very, very little in year 2. She barely played, but I think that was more Christy Sides than it was Grace Berger problem. But if you're just looking at some of the things that she did, especially earlier on in the year, she's finishing well. She didn't get into enough of a rhythm to shoot well from the mid-range, but like, she has that mid-range pull-up that we saw that was there at Indiana, and she's big. She's big. She can guard. She can run the 1. She can run the 2. And she just has an ability. She has this ability to push the floor and create that teams just don't really have, or the Fever doesn't really have now with Sydney Colson. And like, Sydney Colson is going to be a better option than Grace Berger for this year. Like, I actually fully believe that. Sydney Colson's going to be a better option than Grace Berger if we're talking about 2025. But just long-term, Grace Berger she can go get you a bucket. She can shoot the 3. She can play along. The big thing with her is I think she can play beside Caitlin Clark and as a replacement for Caitlin Clark. The problem is that I don't know how Sydney Colson plays with Caitlin Clark. Like, Sydney Colson is just like Erica Wheeler-esque. Erica Wheeler 2.0. And we even saw, if we're looking later on in the year, when she came up in that last game against Washington, she controlled the tempo. She controlled the 1 with Caitlin Clark on the bench in the second half. Like, I genuinely do think when it comes to Grace Berger that she is just that. She's just that type of player that just could fit in. And hard to find minutes when Caitlin Clark plays 33 minutes per game. I think she can play with Clark. And I don't think Caitlin Clark playing 35 minutes per game bodes well for winning a title either. Like, you want to peak at the right time. There's no month-long Olympic break this year. And I know she had a full off-season. But as great as she was playing coming up to the Olympic break, you could see how much her shot was struggling. You could see how much her shot struggled in coming up to the Olympic break. So it's just one of those things that, who's Grace Berger's NBA comp? I don't know. Like, who's a solid backup point guard at 6'5"? That's kind of what you're getting with Grace Berger. And it's just, like, if you're looking at the team, like, I think she makes the Lynx team, by the way. I think she makes the Lynx roster. But if you're looking at the Fever's team, I just prefer her to Coulson. I just don't. I get bringing in Coulson for vibes, but you're paying her a non-minimum contract and a non-minimum guaranteed contract. And I get it with Grace Berger's rookie scale deal constantly going up. You were going to almost have to keep her for this year and exercise the fourth year option potentially. But I just liked how she plays as a rookie. And I think she'll be a good backup for Courtney Williams. Like, I just think that it's... The going for Sydney Coulson is like an old WNBA decision. Like, it's one of those, we don't think Leonie Fibic is good enough because she doesn't really play this. She doesn't really play well as a post player type mentality. We're in win now mentality, and Sid is a better option. We can get Grace later. But like, she's a better option for this season. I still don't know. I don't know. You can't make entirely win now moves. Like, you can't make every single move. Not even just win now, win one season away. Especially when you've got Grace Berger on a 2 more year of a rookie deal. So you could have gotten her for cheap in that fourth year. Especially because with the new CBA, she was on a cost-controlled contract. And you could have cost-controlled her. And then maybe for 2026, you've got the best backup point guard in the WNBA. Like, that's just the way I'm looking at it. Instead of just signing another vet when you've already got DeWanna Bonner, you've already got Natasha Howard, you've already brought in Sophie Cunningham. Like, I understand what the Fever are doing. Like, I understand what the Fever are doing when it comes to Grace Berger. What the Fever are doing in general. What the Fever are doing is they are surrounding Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Caitlin Clark and Lexi Hull with solely glue players. So not glue players, like vets. They're surrounding them with vets. And if you are a young player, unless your name's Michaela Timpson probably, unless you were a draftee, if you were a young player, they just got rid of you. Because they only really want their stars, vets, and whoever the draftee is. I just don't know how long-term that's going to work. But again, team building is interesting because never in sports has there been a great reset like 2026. Never in sports has everybody been a free agent at the one time. So I'm not going to question that because, well, to be honest, you can question what specific teams are doing because nobody knows what's going to happen in the offseason, which means... like, we won't know until next year who's wrong or who's right. Because this is completely unprecedented, and all GMs can do is try to predict what's going to happen. And I just think that getting rid of Grace is going to be I think it might be outside of the Temi situation, but also with Temi, there's a EuroBasket situation. But yeah, so I think Grace Berger is something that they might end up regretting. So yeah, lads, how are you guys? Good morning to all of you guys. Good morning to every single one of you guys. It is Sloot over Grace. Sloot's a good backup point guard, but like the Sky taking her to start is giving her a max contract. I don't know what the Sky are doing. I think the Sky just wanted to pass the ball to. I literally just think the Sky want her to pass the ball to Angel and Camilla, and they just want to see, because everybody's obviously talking about how the point guards they had last year didn't do a good job of getting them the ball. But when it comes to Sloot will give them the ball. So it means that they know coming into 2020... It means they know coming into 2027 that whether or not Courtney Vandersloot... whether or not Angel and Camilla can work together. Because obviously last year it didn't work together, but didn't get the ball. So I think it's now one of those things where you kind of need to... Rest in peace to the Pope. I don't know. He's doing his own thing. I'm gonna listen to that song. Actually, I can't find it right now. I'm gonna try find a song and I'm going to I'll play it on stream tomorrow. Because where did this was fun. This has been a bit of a fun stream. And again, Sydney Colson was brought in for defense. They don't need her to score when Caitiln is on the bench. Fair. But like, there's a lot, you can bring in a lot of good defenders that can do a little bit more. And to be fair, Colson, in fairness, Sydney Colson is definitely a better defender than Grace Berger. I will admit that. But for the Indiana Fever, there is one thing that almost every other team has to deal with. And the Fever don't. And you don't hear, there's nobody talking about this because it is, we don't know who's going to commit. But I gotta say, this is something that the Fever have, I think this is a big reason why they got rid of Temi. I think it's a big reason why a lot of people are saying, why didn't the Fever look to go overseas with things? So, if you look at the Fever roster, Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard, Leah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hall, Brie Turner, Damaris Dantas, Jillia Lane, obviously Ejim probably not making the team, Jalen Brown's probably not making the team, Brie Hall probably not making the team, Clark, Dewana Bonner, Coulson. So you have got Dewana Bonner, naturalized Macedonian, but from the USA, American, Brazilian, not in Europe, American. Whereas if we look at other years, they would have had Temi last year. But if you want to look at the top teams in the WNBA, like we want to look at the very, very top teams. So you're going to look at the Minnesota Lynx. And again, it's not like they're losing anything crazy. But Badian, who they brought in, French. You've got Dorka Juhas from Hungary. So they're not hit too bad by it. And it's EuroBasket. It's EuroBasket. If I even say it is EuroBasket women's. So from the 18th to 29th of June, and they have to go at least 2 days early and be gone for 2 more days. So let's just say from the 15th of June to the start of July, no players. There are very, very few players. Or there's going to be a lot of players, sorry, they're going to be gone. So Turkey, France. Wait, are Hungary in Europe? Did Hungary make EuroBasket? Because I know Britain did. Britain made EuroBasket, Lithuania, Serbia. Oh, so Hungary didn't make EuroBasket by the looks of things. No, they didn't. Why did I think Hungary were in EuroBasket? So they're actually not, the Lynx aren't hit too badly with it. But if you look at these teams, GB, Temi, it's Valkyries. Valkyries are losing half their team. But for the Aces already don't have much depth. The Aces are losing Meg Gustafson. Is Uzun play for who does Uzun play for? From Turkey. The Valkyries are losing their entire team. Like, oh, rest in peace to the actual Pope. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh my God, I didn't. Oh, that was a reference. I thought that was a reference to the Pope B. Frank no longer being in chat. Oh my God, I do want to talk about that. But yeah, let's keep this ball. Rest in peace to the actual Pope. I misinterpreted that reference. The rest in peace to the actual Pope. And obviously, if you guys are watching this on video, we're recording these live, so there's going to be some blunders. But yeah, so the big thing is as well, Satu might be playing for Germany. And the Liberty, who are a really good team, are losing Niara. They're losing Leonie Fibish. They're losing Maureen Johannes for the guts of a month. So the Liberty are losing 3 of their key players, a starter, and their 2 best bench players for a large chunk of the season. So they're losing players. If you're looking at Belgium, to be fair, Julie Alemond is playing for the Sparks, but the rest of the Belgians are playing for, they're all playing for the Valkyries. Anyone from Czech Republic? I'm not sure. Obviously, the Valkyries are losing Chechi Zandelicini, Temi, Carlete. And if you look at the French team, the Storm are losing Gabby Williams. The Storm are losing Dominique Malonga for a month of the season. The Storm are losing, they're all losing players. And that's the one thing the Fever have, is the Fever don't have anyone going to EuroBasket. Not only that, they don't even have someone potentially going to EuroBasket. The Mercury might lose Satu for a few weeks. Like, literally, the Mercury might lose Satu. So, the fact that the Fever have their entire team for the entire year is such a big thing. Because it's not like they're getting a rest. These players are playing in equally as many games. Like, it's equally as many games that, like, they would be playing the WNBA. They're playing a whole bunch in EuroBasket. And a lot of the teams playing for their national team is the biggest thing. So if you're looking at the Seattle Storm, if you're losing Gabby Williams, you're losing Dominique Malonga. At least you have Leah Rue. At least you have, like, Katie Lou's going to have to be a major part of the lineup during that stage. So with the Fever having their teams, let's look at who the Fever's schedule is during the EuroBasket time. Because during the EuroBasket situation, or during the EuroBasket, especially because there's going to be some players, if they're really up for EuroBasket, they might be focusing on that. For the Liberty players, I do think their focus is going to be on the WNBA. But if you look at the Fever schedule, so June the 18th is the Commissioners, or June the 14th is the Commissioners Cup. This is probably the last game that they're all going to be there for. So from June the 18th till probably July the 4th. Yeah, so till the Aces game. So it's going to be these set of games. So let's look. The Connecticut Sun, in fairness, the Connecticut Sun have Layla LeCon. Is Layla LeCon the only player that'll be playing for French team? Connecticut, they're going to be Connecticut. The Valkyries, they're playing. If Caitlin Clark, drop 50. I'm not joking. Drop 50. The Valkyries, this is who the Valkyries have during EuroBasket. You're going to play against the Golden State Valkyries, who I'm not joking when I say this. They've got nobody. The Valkyries have, like, absolutely no players during this time. So there's no reason for the Fever. Like, Juicy Jusite is playing in EuroBasket. She qualified with Lithuania. Where is the Golden State Valkyries? Team. I can't see their team. But Jusite is obviously going to be away. Cheyenne Sellers cannot guard. Tammy's away. Chechi Zandalusini's away. Carlete's away. Janelle Salone's playing for France. Kiara Linskins is playing for Belgium. Their whole team is gone. Their whole team is gone. You got to drop 50, Caitlin. You're playing the Aces without Meg Gustafson again. Nothing absolutely crazy for the Aces losing out. Gustafson, it just means Liz Kitley's going to have to play more minutes. Then you're playing the Seattle Storm, where the Seattle Storm have one player that can guard Caitlin Clark. Kind of. And it's what's her name? Actually, no, Skylar Diggins is going to guard Caitlin Clark. But they have one person who could actually maybe do a job on Kelsey Mitchell, which is Gabby Williams. But now they have to choose which of Gabby Williams or Kelsey Mitchell, which of Caitlin Clark or Kelsey Mitchell is Skylar Diggins going to have to guard. Skylar Diggins is going to be screwed on offense because her goal is to play defense now. And Gabby Williams. Then playing against the Sparks, with obviously no Julie Allen on the Sparks. The Sparks, no one can play defense on the Sparks anyway. The Wings aren't really losing anyone. And then it's okay. But there are a couple of games right here where the Fever have a big advantage. And if you are looking at it, if the Liberty lose those three players, I can see the Fever. I see the Fever going in as a Commissioner Cup winners. Because even if the Fever go and lose, if the Fever lose the first game, well, the Fever shouldn't lose to the Sky in the Commissioner's Cup. They shouldn't lose to the Mystics. They should. I think the Fever match up real well to the Dream. So even if the Fever lose to the Liberty still have to go out and win a game without a bunch of their players. To be fair, and the Commissioner's Cup a little bit early. But if the Fever can get a little bit of a streak going, maybe Liberty's players are gone by the 14th. The Fever could win the Commissioner's Cup, which I know isn't anything major, but it's something. It's something. But anyway, yeah, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, the Commissioner's Cup is cursed, but yeah, like the Commissioner's Cup, it's only cursed until we're gonna call the Fever the Curse Breakers. Like, we're gonna call them the Curse Breakers. So anyway, yeah, that is it, lads. I am ending the stream a little bit early today, purely because I have to go and watch the great Leeds United. Watch the great Leeds United go and get promoted out of the Championship. Thanks to everyone for watching this stream. This is going to be a daily thing. Thank you guys so much. We had 290 people in here. As news, we've recorded 5 videos. Yeah, like that's such a big thing. And we're going to be doing this every day. We're going to be doing breakdowns and we're going to be doing a whole bunch of things. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you.